Welcome to Your Money. It's your weekly guide to making the most from your cash. More on pensions for women in a second. Plus, rents hit an all-time high. Great news for landlords, but why are they booming and how long will it last? We'll get the thoughts of one provocative housing expert. If you're renting a house or flat in England or Wales, you're likely to be paying more for it than ever before. The lettings agency LSL says the average rent paid by tenants is now £692 a month. That's 4% more than last year. It also says more tenants are struggling with their rent bill. Nearly 12% of all rent was either late or just completely unpaid by the end of April. Well, Henry Pryor is a housing market expert. Henry, welcome to Your Money. A rise of 4% from last year is pretty much in line with inflation, of course, but the backstory to this is there's been a steady and progressive climb in rents roughly since the financial crisis started.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all familiar with the expression that an Englishman's home is his castle, Declan. Turns out that many more of us are renting them rather than owning them outright. And with roughly 11 million members of the population with mortgages these days, we're starting to see more and more come into the housing market to let their houses, and we're seeing a resurgence of that old friend buy-to-let.
There's two separate things going on there. Let's try and sort of split them out a bit. More people renting because first-time buyers are finding it difficult to get a mortgage, so they're carrying on renting at a point when you'd have expected them to bought.
Absolutely. We're seeing buy-to-letters, they're able to get this. It's easier for them in many instances to get mortgages than it is for owner-occupiers. They're coming in and replacing first-time buyers at the bottom of the housing ladder and then letting out their properties to tenants.
OK. You would think that if there were more landlords coming into the system, supply versus demand and all of that, that might actually drive rents down.
We would, and indeed we did see in the UK last year rents take a significant tumble. They've started to rally somewhat as a result of increased demand. More and more people, as you were rightly saying, looking to get on the housing ladder, wanting somewhere to live, and for which renting is frankly the only option. You
may not want to give an answer to this, but there's always a temptation in a boom market for people to jump in just at the wrong time when it's at its peak. If people were thinking about becoming landlords for the first time, would they be wise to consider it, or would they be wise to avoid it?
I think if we look at the fact that capital values are falling whilst rents are rising, the other thing that this LSL survey tells us is that yields are improving considerably, and as a result now is actually quite a good time to be looking at getting into the property market because the return you get on your money is much more significant.
OK, Henry Pryor, thank you very much. Remember, just one person's view. If you are considering something of that magnitude, seek independent advice.